Hello, good morning. Welcome to Joy News Desk. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. Coming up this morning, former Chief Justice Georgina Wood wants the next election to be about policies and development, not propaganda.
Do we wish to create hope for the future by channeling our energies and other resources to developmental issues, or is it going to be another unending trend of pure propaganda as usual?
We have details for you shortly. Also, residents of Ho counting their losses after heavy downpour floods thousands of property over the weekend. We'll hear from the MP, MCE, and NADMO on the very latest. Last, residents of Waja and motorists who use the Accra-Takoradi highway angry about the seeming lack of action by city authorities to immediately stop the perennial flooding of sections of the road. All of this plus business coming up shortly. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Do stay for details. Many thanks for choosing us. Former Chief Justice Georgina Wood has condemned propaganda in Ghana's politics, warning it is taking away the interest of potential future leaders who engage into politics. Speaking at the investiture of a new district governor for the Rotary District 9104, the former head of the judiciary urged stakeholders to make the next election in 2024 about development and policies and not mindless propaganda.
Only a year hence, we will be preparing to go to the polls, once again to elect national leaders for this beautiful country. Do we wish to create hope for the future by channeling our energies and other resources to developmental issues, or is it going to be another unending trend of pure propaganda as usual? It bears emphasis that deliberate falsehoods, misinformation, and dishonesty have destroyed the reputation and homes of many and shattered the dreams, aspirations, and hopes of several others. It also poses a huge threat to our unity as a country. One painful truth is that in this country, there are some decent, hard-working men and women with integrity, drive, and initiative who would rather quietly stay in their little corners and enjoy their God-given blessings than venture into politics or invest their lives in public service, simply on account of the reputational damage they fear they may likely suffer if they did so. As we enter into a new phase of service to mankind, as a new district with new leadership, I would urge you to continue your good work of touching lives and creating hope in this country, something that you have been doing for years now. Please help us to change our success story. One important reason is that this new district and its leadership take off at a very critical time in Ghana's developmental history, a time this country faces serious financial challenges which have necessitated an IMF bailout. Of course, these challenges would affect several projects and programs of the government, and in such situations, the vulnerable will feel the impact even more.
Meanwhile, the new district governor of Rotary District 9104, David Osaya Mankwah, tells Joy News Rotary will continue to impact the world and will not relent on its efforts to eradicate polio in the world.
The most, I would say in Ghana, certainly it's its record of impactful service to the community of Ghana is without, comparison. One of the most predominant areas that Rotary is well known for is polio and polio immunization. And Rotary has played a huge role, has spent over $2.5 billion on polio immunization in the world, and continues to spend a lot of funds for water and sanitation projects, for educational projects, maternal health care, in the environment, and so many projects that are ongoing. I think that this year you will feel the impact through effective public image seminars, webinars, and such that you'll be invited to get a full impact of what we've done. But we are constantly, our 63 clubs are constantly involved in the community all over Ghana. There are 63 clubs, 1,800 members. With Rotractors, we are exceeding 2,500 members, and they continue to impact their communities in all manner of ways through projects, as I mentioned, water and sanitation, health delivery, neonatal health delivery, maternal health care, in all manner of places. Eye care. This year, we are involved in cold chain management, improved, enhanced cold chain management, where vaccine at the last mile will receive solar-powered refrigerators to actually improve and maintain the whole cold chain cycle.
Various speakers at a forum organized by the National Commission on Civic Education on the prevention and containing violent extremism have urged Ghanaians to be more vigilant and report suspicious characters to the security agencies. They are not happy that in the era of terrorism and jihadist threats in neighboring countries, strangers must be entertained, urging the citizenry not to divulge information to strangers. Rafiq Salam has more.
Ghana is considered to be an oasis of peace and stability and a beacon of hope in a sub-region that has some of its countries overtaken by extremist or jihadist groups. The presence and operations of these terrorists and violent extremists in these countries poses a threat and great danger to security in the country. The National Commission on Civic Education, NCCE, with funding from the European Union, launched a Preventing and Containing Violent Extremism (PCVE) program in 5 regions in the northern belt of the country and 3 adjoining regions, namely Oti, Bono, and Bono East regions. For the past few weeks, the Upper West Regions Office of the NCCE has been busy sensitizing and educating various identifiable groups, including students from tertiary institutions in the region, on the PCVE program. Addressing students at the National Jan Ahmadiyya College of Education, Acting Commission Secretary of the NCCE, lawyer Lucille Helet Anan, urged the students to be vigilant and report suspicious characters to the police.
So please, when you are in your community, be vigilant. Know what is going on in your community. If you see a strange person, please, at least if you see a strange car hovering around, all you can do is take the car number. So please, there are bad people. Like I told you, there can be violent extremism without terrorism. There are bad people in our community who will come to our community to kidnap children, to kidnap boys for rituals. And so it behoves on you to survey your community. And when you see strange people, say something. If you see something, say something.
Upper West Region's Director of the NCCE, Victor Nwoko, revealed that the African Sahel region is increasingly becoming a safe haven for terrorist and extremist groups, calling for efforts to be made to resolve conflict situations that gives way to terrorism.
The Global Terrorism Index, GTI, estimates that Africa's Sahel region, comprising of the countries West and Central Africa, currently account for 43% of the world's terrorism deaths. Efforts must also be made to resolve conflicts situations that give rise to terrorism. We need to preach among ourselves peaceful coexistence devoid of ethnicity or religion.
Our Regional Crimes Officer of the Ghana Police Service, ACP Redouncement Yeo, called on the citizenry to take personal initiatives to protect themselves first before informing the security agencies.
They may come pretending to be your friend, pretending to be a member of your religious sect, pretending to be an old schoolmate, pretending to be a member of a distant member of your family. But please, let us be wary of such people. In other words, you should not trust anybody. You should not trust anybody, especially strangers. Ghanaians are so hospitable that the moment someone comes and starts narrating his or her story, we buy into it, and being so religious, we start accommodating them. This is very dangerous. Let us be careful with such attitudes.
Dean of Students at the National Jahana Ahmadiyya College of Education, Fadila Saidu Brahma, who chaired the function, commended the NCCE and the European Union for the program, stating that it is an eye-opener which will be of enormous benefit to the college.
We also know that as youth, those who are propagating violence and terrorism are ready to use us. From today, we have learned and we will practice. We will be each other's keeper, and then we will not allow any group or any individual to use us to perpetrate violence or terrorism.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Well, anytime it rains, parts of the major highway which links Cape Coast, Accra-Takoradi and neighboring Côte d'Ivoire become impassable as it is covered with rainwater and sand washed down from the hills in the area. Commuters spend many hours in traffic before getting to their destination. Maxwell Agbagba has the latest of our Floods of Trauma series.
It is just minutes after torrential rains here in the Greater Accra region. The usual chaotic scene is back on the Weija-Atala section and the area close to the toll booth on the Accra-Takoradi highway. Parts of the road is flooded again. Here, I've met a truck driver, Issa Halidu. He slept in his car overnight after his truck got stuck in the silt on the road.
We said that we should pack small and wait. Other the rain will cut off, then we move. After 30 minutes, yes, then happen. Wow. After that, we will come back to remove all these things.
The issue is a big one, but as I'm saying, since we cannot focus on everything.
I have now met a concerned resident, Nana Kwesi Jana Pentin. He's always on the edge anytime he's not at home and there are signs of rain. He's befuddled how a major road like the Accra-Takoradi highway will be left to get flooded anytime it rains without any intervention from city authorities.
That the experiences people go through here are just horrid. When it rains a little, it just has to drizzle. It brings huge traffic, but that is just the beginning. That traffic, even after the rain, continues because there's a pile of sand that comes from up the hill, because the problem is that clearly, I'm not an expert, but you don't have to be an expert to see that it's a very unstable kind of area in terms of the soil and the land and everything. So it every time it rains, there's this huge erosion and it brings boulders and rocks and gravel and everything. And it takes weeks to clear. So what we suffer on the day of the rain is just the beginning of the story. What is worse is that what people probably don't realize is that this is not a local, just a local issue, a local problem. This road that we are talking about serves as the entry point to Central Region, of course, to the Western Region, to Western North, and of course to Côte d'Ivoire and beyond. And a lot of the economic wealth of this country passes through here to Takoradi Harbour and all other places. But also remember tourism. We've made the Central Region for now the hub of our tourism industry, especially because of the castles and all that. And you do that and still people can't have access and go there. Go to a point where this year, if we don't do anything about it, there will be a complete cut off, and those of us who live here will simply, for days, cannot move anywhere.
Nana Kwesi Jana Pentin wants authorities to deal with the problem. Nana is not the only person concerned about the situation. Stephen Odum's pharmacy is very close to the highway and says the flooding of the area is an age-old problem. He says he has lost medication worth thousands of Ghana cedis as a result of the flood.
Well, when it's raining, the place is very terrible. You can't get access to the road. And when it happens like that, virtually there's no business for us here. I mean, people can access our pharmacy. Sometimes the rain even gets to the pharmacy, which is very terrible. And it's a problem that has been there for years. I mean, I've been here for about 13 years, and the problem was there since, and nothing has so far been done about it. It's a big problem for us. It entered my pharmacy, and then some items were destroyed. Oh yes, when it's getting to that time, we have to be prepared. We have to really get prepared. Otherwise, something bad will happen. So we have to make sure that our staffs are on tables and stuff like that, so that when we are not here and it rains, it doesn't damage our staff.
Municipal roads engineer for the Gassaut Municipal Assembly, Daniel Sowa, says the perennial flooding and dumping of silt on the Weija-Atala section and the area close to the Weija toll booth go beyond the assembly, and that the Municipal Assembly cannot be blamed.
We realized that, the hill over there has been taken off, the vegetation has been taken off. And because every time it rains, the downpour from the top of the hill washes the sand and put it on the road, which cause a lot of difficulties to the traveling public. But you realize that this has been a problem that has been there for years, where a material was taken from there to construct certain roads in certain parts of Accra. And after that, we need to reinstate what was taken away by way of having the vegetation to come on. Today, as I'm talking to you right now, the issue is like the Municipal Assembly has given permit for people to build over there. There's no build. When you go up there, you saw there's some building down there, but those ones, there's none of them that consider they have permit to build over there. They are all living there, illegally. And because of the situation has persisted, anytime it rains, the sun, the sun washes from that place and gets to the road. There has been several interventions from several quarters. I remember the last time the road minister came here, we went up there to have a look at the situation, and the committee was formed to bring solution to this. A report was given. Up to today, we are just waiting. If we are now about to implement the report, we'll be waiting. But nothing has been done, and anytime it rains, the blame put at the doorstep of assembly, which the assembly doesn't have a hand in whatever is happening over there. We have spent several monies to get those works done and to clear those activities from there. In any case, that particular stretch of the road belongs to Ghana Highway Authority. There are three agencies that work within Ghana: Ghana Highway Authority, Department of Urban Roads, and the Department of Federal Roads. And the road that link between two towns are managed by Ghana Highway Authority. So we've also served the force on them to have a look at what we need to do and solve the problem once and for all. When we look at the Atala area there, you realize that the sand also comes, from the top of where a place they call Dunkuna. It washes from that place gradually and built up, in between the Melcom, and discharge it at the SCC traffic light and just walk on the road over there. Several interventions has also been done to stop this problem. But you realize that the situation is so big that it goes beyond the assembly. The assembly doesn't have the resources to get those works done. We have fallen on some of these agencies to come and help us solve those problems. So basically, the committee that was set up by the minister to look into that problem and bring the solution to him. One of them was that we need to, cut the loose material at the lower side of the hill, and grass. That the water that will come will be devoid of the silt that normally comes with it, because the surface of the loose sand has been taken care of.
Until the South Municipal Assembly and other state agencies take steps to deal with the perennial problem, commuters who use the stretch will continue to spend endless hours in traffic anytime it rains. Reporting for Joy News, Maxwell Agbagba.
MP for Ho Benjamin Kodo has blamed the inactions of state actors in that municipality for the devastating flood which has caused havoc in the suburb downstream, destroying property worth millions of Ghana cedis. The flood destroyed major shops and broke through the back of a textile shop situated at Civic Center. Thousands of goods were washed away, including textiles. The Ghana National Fire Service, after preliminary investigations, described the incident as a disaster due to extensive havoc caused by the flood. Speaking to Benisabo Bay de Lanza on the AM show this morning, the MP for the area, Benjamin Kodo, said as leaders with oversight responsibility for the municipality, they failed to take the necessary actions in spite of all the warning signs.
Victims who suffered this disaster, especially Madam Awume. You see, in Ho, this particular rainstorm or torrential rain is peculiar. For a long time, it hasn't rained in this manner. The rains came in and stayed for a continuous period of upwards of 3 hours. There was no storm, but as they drained down their lane to find their level, so much destruction took place. We have heard how the water flowed down from Abakaba Hill through the drains in Bankwe, then to the barracks, then to cross the Plough Road between the Ho Polyclinic and Trafalgar Hospital, otherwise known as the Wood Teaching Hospital. It caused a lot of havoc. And I think that the principal or fundamental cause for this is the size of the drains. They need to be expanded so that where the volume of water is such large like the one we have, it can find space to move without causing the havoc that it has caused. The walls of the palace, the fence walls for the palace forecourt grounds have also been affected. And the woman's shop, which is just close by, is the one which has been devastated. You see all her wares being brought out by the rain, the flood, and shipped away. So if we can expand the drains and make them deeper, and also get our people to stop dropping waste into the drains carelessly, I'm sure that we can solve part of the problem.
Right. Mr. Kodo, I've been joined by the NADMO director.
In a remarkable triumph, Ghana Secondary Technical School has emerged victor in the Western Zonal Regional Championship, clinching their first ever regional title. The highly anticipated showdown saw previous champion Archbishop Porter Girls SHS falling short of expectations. Now, with their sights set on the nationals, the determined boys from GSTS aspire to continue their winning streak, aiming to secure their maiden national championship victory. With the outstanding performance, they have become the team to watch, poised to make their mark on the national stage. Michael Ashali has more from the Western region.
Since the inception of the zonal championship in the Western region in 2021, a clear dominance by any single school has been elusive. The inaugural edition saw Archbishop Porter Girls emerge as the victors, followed by a surprising turn of events in 2022 when Shama SHS claimed the championship, with a total of 11 schools competing across 4 contests, including 3 thrilling semi-finals and a grand finale. The battle for supremacy in the region was intense and fiercely contested. Securing the first slot in the Western Zonal Championship final was a walk in the park for GSTS, who once again showed their intellectual prowess. St. Mary's Boys SHS tried, but no effort could close the 15 points gap.
Yes, Emmanuel. Yes, Emmanuel.
3.0 seconds.
That is incorrect. Yes, for a bonus. Yes.
30 seconds.
Yes.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
That is correct. Bromo. Yes. GSTS. The reaction of 2-methyl propene with HCl. Yes, go on.
2-methyl propene.
That is correct.
Fijai SHS, Adiambra SHS, Secondary College and Nana Brintu Senior High School went head-to-head for a spot in the finals. The contest was an emotional roller coaster.
Secondary College.
3.7 grams.
Say that again.
3.7 grams.
That is correct. Adiambra Senior High. 8 is correct. Secondary College.
4.
No. That is incorrect. Yes. Nana Brentu.
1.
No. You have been bailed out.
The contest remained undecided until the last riddle question in round 4.
The last riddle. Admittedly, I have my excesses, sorry. I am hardly straightforward in my dealings. Fijai Senior High.
Snake.
Snake is correct. And that ends round 4. At the end of round 4, here are the results. Nana Brentu Senior High School had 13 points. Secondary College had 22 points. Adiambra Senior High School had 23 points. And Fijai wins with 24 points.
Archbishop Porter Girls SHS picked the last slot after beating Bompe Senior High School and Amenfiman SHS.
My numerical value is of the order of 10 to the power negative 34. Archbishop Porter Girls.
Plans constant.
That is correct. Archbishop Porter Girls.
X squared minus 12x plus 27 equal to 0.
That is correct. It's correct. And that ends round 4. The results. Amenfiman Senior High School had 20 points. Bomper Senior High Technical School had 22 points. And Archbishop Porter Girls Senior High School win the contest with 29 points.
The region was set for a nerve-wracking grand finale. One-time winners Archbishop Porter Girls were lost in the contest as they placed third.
Lina.
So we have 25.9 meters per second.
That is incorrect.
It was Ghana's Secondary Technical School who sailed through without a fight.
Archbishop Porter Girls Senior High School had 21 points. And Vijay Senior High School, they got 28 points. And the Giants of the West Side, GSTS wins with 34 points.
And for the first time, they truly stand tall as giants in the central region above everyone else.
I mean, in my earlier interview with you, you said you felt sensational, right? Yes. How do you feel now?
The same sensational.
You and your squad, you are going to the nationals, right? What should we expect from GSTS?
Nothing but the best.
Nothing but the best. Thank you very much. So you've heard from Richmond and his group. There's a promise that they will win the nationals if you give them the opportunity to do that. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
Former Minister of Environment, Professor Frimpong Boateng, has called for the wrath of God on all persons engaged in illegal mining activities that are destroying forests, water bodies, and the environment. According to the former chairman of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, no individual participating in galamsey and other activities that degrade the environment will be spared God's punishment. He was addressing a breakfast meeting by the Kumasi chapter of the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship to mark its 40th anniversary. More in this report.
Professor Frimpong Boateng has in recent times been vilified and commended for his report on the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, which names some politicians and influential persons for their alleged involvement in galamsey. Addressing the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship in Kumasi, the former Minister of Environment used scriptures to drum home his campaign for the protection of the environment.
When we are destroying our environment, we see we are not alone. All the other creatures of God are very important. God created us so that we take care of them. There are many cattle as well in Ghana. So we have bears that take care of the dead animals so that we don't get sick. Vultures and so on. When was the last time you saw a vulture? Because if you attack, vultures need tall trees, and these animals and these bears. If you destroy their habitat, if you destroy their food, source of water, they will die. Imagine us. If somebody comes here, he's more powerful than us, he bulldozes our houses, takes away our water, our food. What will happen to us? So we are supposed to take care of these things, and we are messing up God's thing. And we think we are smart. God is not happy with that. If you look at the book of Revelations 11 verse 18, the nations are angry because your wrath have come. The time has come for you to punish the dead and to reward the servants, the prophets, the saints who revere your name. And the last line is, and to punish those who destroy the earth.
Professor Frimpong Boateng says Christians should be ready to speak the truth and face the consequences.
These are the things that make me who I am, standing for God. So my point is that if we could get Christians, not many, good people, 1,000 is too much for Ghana, who will get up each morning and say, Lord, thank you for giving me life. What do I have to do today to make my workplace a better place? If a church, how many pastors will say, what do I have to do to make this enterprise a good place? Taxi drivers, what do I have to do to make this job good so that my madam or my master, shopkeepers, this. And then you do what you have to do without any selfish motives. This country will change. I believe that. And I want to be part, I'll be part of that. I will tell the truth and face the consequences.
For Joy News, Nana Boachitankwa reporting.
We're still live on Joy News Desk. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll bring you business.
Now, Managing Director of Multichoice Ghana, Alex Autry, has indicated that the depreciation of the cedi and high inflation recorded in the past few months has had adverse impact on its operations. He's however hopeful that the economy will rebound soon. He spoke to the media during a walk to mark the company's 30th anniversary celebration.
The depreciation of the cedi coupled with high inflation rate has had negative effect on most businesses. This has led to a high cost of doing business in the country. Speaking to the media after a health walk to mark its 30th anniversary, Managing Director of Multichoice Ghana, Alex Autry, said the company will work hard to mitigate the impact of the high inflation on its operation.
It's been difficult, right? I mean, we all know about the economic challenges we've faced, inflation, depreciation of the cedi, but it's part of the difficulties that I mentioned we've gone through, right? So Multichoice has been here 30 years. There's been a lot of similar issues in the 30 years, but we are here. I mean, so we have a strong backbone, we have a strong group that has strong properties, so we'll continue to be here. I mean, it will just be a blip or a difficulty along the way, but we will surmount it. I'm sure the Ghanaian economy will rebound and we'll get to the good days again.
Head of Corporate Affairs of Multichoice Ghana, Ni Ama Dagadu, added that his outfit would continue to bring customers the best content in these difficult times.
This year has been quite a tough year for everybody. We continue to see the cedi weakening against major international currencies, but we've had to make some changes. We've kept to the same content that we've given to our customers. We continue to give our customers that great content. And what we are doing is, like every other Ghanaian business, we are having to make some minor adjustments, and we'll continue to survive and bring customers the best content at the most affordable pricing.
Multichoice Ghana has given Ghanaians a good television viewing experience over the last 30 years.
Now, the board chairman for the Cosmos Innovation Center, Joe Mensah, has indicated that the choice of the Northern region to establish a second office was informed by its great potential. He said the area has vast lands that will allow the center scale up in agriculture to transformational levels. Mr. Mensah spoke at the commissioning of KIC's offices in Tamale.
Tamale office, according to KIC, is the second office in the country since its establishment 7 years ago. The second incubation hub is expected to take care of 4 out of the 5 regions in the north in 17 districts. Mr. Joe Mensah said the availability of land in the area can lead to industrial agriculture.
This particular location actually is a blessing for a couple of reasons. Ben oftentimes will quote me that I say that the last time I checked, everybody eats. And therefore, we will continue to eat until the last breath. So whenever you are doing work in that area of agriculture, it's the right investment. Our country predominantly grew on agriculture before it got into all the other sectors. We are going back to our roots to try to make sure that we pay more attention to agriculture for this country.
The executive director of KIC, Benjamin Jankisi, said in the past the program was for graduates, but with the new program, they will reach out to both the formal and informal sectors.
In the past, KIC
have always admitted graduates and students from tertiary institutions across the country and also in the northern sector in our KIC programs, such as the Agritech Challenge Classic and the Agritech Challenge Pro. This partnership under this with ACD Avoca on this particular program and project will now enable KIC as part of the consortium to reach youth both in the formal and informal sectors, regardless your educational background. So what we are saying is that, in short, KIC coming into Tamale, we will leave no one behind, regardless of your formal education or formal educational background.
The Northern Regional Minister, Shani Alhassan Shaibu, on his part, charged the youth to take advantage of the opportunity created to develop themselves.
I therefore see today as a very important day, as it marks the beginning of youth development in this part of our country. And I urge the youth to take advantage of this opportunity and to express my sincere gratitude to the board, management, and anniversary committee of Cosmos for extending an invitation to my office and to my good self.
And that's all in business. The news continues after this break.
Back to Joy News Desk to the rest of our story. Some residents of Tema Community 22 are upset about the deteriorating state of their roads. No maintenance of the road has caused potholes to dipping into manholes. The asphalt has completely washed off, exposing the bare brown earth. In today's edition of Ghana's Potholes exhibition, residents are calling on government to pay attention to them and not wait for disaster. Jojo Kobna and Kingsley Otu have more.
Driving through Tema Community 22 requires great skill and resilience. It is as though staying in your lane is prohibited in this community. Drivers would have to constantly veer off their lanes to minimize the impact of slumping into potholes and sometimes get used to slumping and bumping into what looks like craters. The rains have worsened the quality of the road. Motorists barely drive 30 meters on asphalt road and they are back to what they dread. But it hasn't always been like this. The community once enjoyed good roads. But when the road started deteriorating, authorities just looked on. Drivers get angry when their vehicles constantly squeal after jouncing into potholes. They feel the government is not listening to their cries. The frustration of this motorist is as intense as the fatigue he endured plying this route.
So all the roads from this community, if you go 25, that area to Apollonia, Afienya, all those are very bad. We say we have MPs. What are they doing? Nothing. They don't do anything, I'm telling you. They don't do anything at all. Just imagine if you have a car on this road, how will you feel? If I go to shop, I buy shocks about 1,000 to 1,300. But it's like within a month, you have to go to the shop. Within a month, you have to go to the shop, which is very bad.
Potholes have reduced 5 minutes journeys into 30 minutes drive. Refusing to slow down on this road will eventually damage your car. Emmanuel Akole is a beneficiary of the poor state of the road. For years, he has been making this road motorable. He has the pothole map of Community 22.
After roundabout, the Afalwa Junction, this 22 inside was no good at all. There is so many places I know where no good. Tema, I know kind of places. Yes. The time they not build the China Mall, maybe the one I used to take popping machine. They draw the water, they divert the road. It means that Baba go let I get my own position at the sleep.
still wants authorities to fix the road, arguing that potholes will not put him out of work because they are common in the neighborhood.
Yes, I used to go there, main junction for the Afalwa station there. I used to go there, up there. Any actual place God showed me, make I did so that I could get my daily bread. Sometimes I could get like 30, 40.
A large billboard along the road directs cars to the DVLA premises for renewal of roadworthy certifications. Daniel Asari, president of the Tema Community 22 Residents Association, is not amused by this irony.
That is the irony, to drive through a road which is not roadworthy, to go and do your roadworthy, and then you come out back onto a road which is not roadworthy after you've done your car. It's just frustrating, especially when you just have to do a short run within the community, not that you're even going far. It takes so much time, you have to be extra careful. At least those of us with four-wheel, we manage, but it's bad. It's bad. The car will be jumping. It's very uncomfortable.
If you drive a saloon car, you have to be extra careful lest you suffer a breakdown. The residents of this community say they cannot endure anymore and want swift government intervention.
Yes, sir.
As I wrap up Joy News Desk, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. See you again at 12.